Hi everyone and good Wednesday morning. It's Eric here with an update on our wintry weather coming over the next several days. And we even have some wintry weather out there this morning. I warned you last evening that some patchy freezing drizzle could cause some issues this morning, and that came to fruition. It was very dicey out there and lots of 2-hour school delays as a result across the valley this morning. That threat for freezing drizzle and that glaze of ice lingering will be here through the morning because temperatures are slow to rise. I still have only 28 degrees at my place in Boardman. It'll be a few more hours until we rise above freezing, so watch for continued areas of slick travel on untreated surfaces. By this afternoon, we'll sneak above 32. Not much more than sprinkles and drizzle and maybe a spotty flurry out there later on today. Let's skip ahead to Thursday and our little appetizer system that's heading our way. I call this an appetizer because it will not be nearly as big of a deal as the weekend system, but it can be impactful during the afternoon. This is not a problem first thing in the morning on Thursday, but this is our simulated radar for Thursday afternoon, showing the snow coming in right around mid-afternoon, maybe between 2 and 4 on average. Oftentimes in these situations, it comes in a little faster than the models depict, but early to mid-afternoon, let's say, for the arrival on the snow. The snow will stick around then into the evening and then taper off from west to east right around midnight or shortly before midnight. This will be a quick hitter. It's not all the snow in the world, but we do have to be cautious for some slick travel on untreated surfaces especially, and I think we're looking at 1 inch to up to 2 inches or so worth of snow out of this, again, from mid-afternoon Thursday through about 11 p.m. or midnight. So that's our little appetizer system for Thursday. All right, let's skip ahead to the weekend. All right, there were some model trends overnight. I've seen a few questions on Facebook and Twitter about those trends. This is what happens. There's going to be shifts to the south and shifts to the north, and certain models are doing this and certain models are shifting this way, and it's largely the reason why we don't put out a snow forecast 5 and 6 days out. We don't even show you the model output for snow totals 5 and 6 days out because the numbers are going to change at the whimsy of every model run as they continue doing the windshield wiper effect, south-north, south-north. One of the reasons for the inconsistency is this storm is not even over land yet. Kind of explained this in a video a couple of days ago, but in case you missed it, here's what will become our winter storm. It's this kind of purple-looking blob off the coast of California. When systems are over the ocean and not over a network of land sensors and National Weather Service offices that send up upper air balloons twice a day, or weather balloons, I should say, when they're not over that network, we do get data from those systems from satellites, but it's not as the data is not as dense or as high resolution as when a system gets over land and we're able to sample the storm better, and that feeds better information into our models. This thing's not going to get over the mainland US until later tonight into tomorrow morning, and especially into tomorrow afternoon. And if you trace this, watch as it comes ashore in the Pacific Northwest, and then it kind of dives down into the southwest, and then that blue-green blob moves through Texas and eventually up the Ohio River Valley. That's our weekend storm. So it's not even over land yet. Until it does, the models are likely going to continue waffling around. I would expect the models that roll in late this morning and early this afternoon to be somewhat different than the modeling that rolled in overnight last night. That's the game when it comes to major winter storms that are coming in off the Pacific Ocean. I would expect to start to see more consistency and more agreement amongst the models starting tomorrow morning and especially tomorrow afternoon once this system is over land. But again, this is pretty typical stuff. We're not going to live and die with every model run, every change, every shift in the track. I've gotten a lot of questions about where's the rain-snow line, and the honest answer is I don't know where the rain-snow line is going to set up. There's a lot of question marks out there still. So let's walk you through the latest run of a couple of our major models. I'll show you the European model here first. Not much has changed overall on its ideas, except for the track overnight did waffle a little bit south. The overall idea is that it starts to snow by probably lunchtime on Saturday, and then conditions rapidly deteriorate in the afternoon hours on Saturday. The low track down over Tennessee is far enough to the south that if this current run were to be correct, it would shift the heaviest snow axis farther to the south and more towards Route 30 and maybe down towards I-70. But again, this may be a temporary shift. We don't know that just yet. But anyway, the overall idea is it's going to start to snow Saturday right around midday. It's probably going to snow pretty heavily for a time Saturday afternoon into Saturday night, tapering off Sunday morning, leaving us with a whole lot of wind and blowing and drifting snow and falling temperatures and brutal wind chills on Sunday. That's the European model. Here's the GFS. Overall, a similar-ish idea, maybe a little farther north than the European. It tries to, as it has for the last few runs, it tries to bring the rain-snow line as far north as the West Virginia Panhandle and maybe up to East Liverpool and maybe even close to Route 30 in central Columbiana County. But, low confidence on that being right. If this were to be exactly right, it would still be a heavy snow event for our area, but we might have to talk about mixed precipitation for parts of our television viewing area. I put out this map last evening in case you missed it. It's not a forecast as far as here's how much snow is going to fall, but it's kind of here's the chances of 6 inches or more. Based on the overnight modeling, this is probably a little too far to the north, but I'm not going to change it this morning. 9 hours, 10 hours after I issued it, it is, it's, again, this is just the game that is played several days before a major winter storm. The model's waffling all over the place. Taken literally, the overnight modeling would suggest that I need to bring the purple and the blue farther south, get more of Columbiana County. But again, we'll see if that's a trend that continues or if it's just the windshield wiper effect continuing. But bottom line is, I'm still pretty confident the odds are real good for 6 inches or more in most areas around Youngstown. Still maybe a little lower to the south, but plan on a big snow this weekend, enough to shovel, enough to plow, enough to cause disruptions, enough to alter your plans. And here's kind of a breakdown of what to expect. Conditions deteriorating on Saturday. Snow taper Sunday morning. There may not be much snow falling from the sky Sunday afternoon, but blowing snow, drifting snow. By Saturday night, as the temperatures plunge, the consistency of the snow will become much fluffier and dustier and much easier to blow around, as opposed to when the snow first arrives on Saturday. And therefore, it's going to be real easy for the snow to blow around and drift and cause visibility issues, even when there's not much snow falling from the sky Sunday afternoon. Then, the story really transitions into cold and wind for Sunday night into Monday, probably into Monday night and Tuesday morning as well. So, it's going to be a long weekend. It's going to be pretty nasty outside right into Tuesday morning. So once this kicks in, once winter arrives, Saturday midday, it's going to really drop the hammer on us until about Tuesday morning. We get a little respite during the middle of next week, and then it looks really cold and potentially stormy again late next week into the following weekend and right through the end of January and into February. So bottom line from this video, I'm not changing any forecasts from overnight despite some model waffling. It's just that, it's probably waffling. Our confidence in the track, the amounts, will probably increase fairly significantly on Thursday once the modeling is able to digest some information from land sensors, from upper air balloons, once this thing is over the Pacific Northwest. So yeah, just plan on a tough weekend. It's going to be a major winter storm. It could be the biggest snow event we've seen in at least a few years around here. It's even on the table that we see our biggest events since December of 2012. That's not my forecast at this point, but it's on the table that it's our biggest one since then. So plan on a biggie, plan accordingly, high impacts. I'll see you later on today for more updates.